So, guys, I'm actually having an amazing day once again. I feel good. I think it's because when I wake up every day, now I have complete faith in the Lord Jesus Christ, our God, and I I think I trust myself and I trust God every day. Now that I wake up, I have nothing holding me back, and I'm not in any sort of bondage. I don't believe. So now I think it's just about doing my purpose and telling you guys some things I know and experienced. So one of the biggest topics today is I'm going to be talking about myself. Um, I think it's nice that I finally get to talk about myself because for a long time I think I've made myself small, and honestly I've actually hated myself for the majority of my life. And I think with this video I can explain why, and based on society you can see why that was the case. So I'm going to start off like with this. I went to my mom's not too long ago. I went to my mom's for Thanksgiving. That's blessings right there. It's just nice to see my mother. We never had really a great relationship. Um, but I went to her before that, a little before that, not too long ago, and we sat down. And for people that don't know, my mom gave me up around like 6, 7, or 8. I don't know the time, which age I was. It's one of those ages, 6, 7, or 8. She gave me up to my father around that time, and she didn't come back until we were like teenagers. And when I'm say we, I have an older sister who's 1 year older than me, and I have a younger sister who's 1 year younger than me. And I remember when she came back when we were teenagers, right? It was basically too late. We didn't even remember who she really was. I mean, obviously I had like an idea in my mind, but as time goes on, people change. So I remember when she knocked on the door, and I'm living with my father at this time. Uh, she knocked on the door. I opened the door, and I'm looking at this lady, and she's smiling, dude. She's cheesing so hard. She's just so happy to see us, right? But I didn't know that's why she was smiling. I'm looking at her like she's crazy, and I'm thinking like, who are you? And then she's like, and my sister pulls up, besides my younger sister, she pulls up beside me. Around that time, we were mad tight. Um, she pulls up beside me, and we're looking at her, and she's like, "You don't know who I am?" And me and my little sister look at each other, and then we look back at her, and we're like, "No, we don't know who you are." And she's like, "I'm your mom," and we're like, "Oh." We're like, "Oh, like, bro, we didn't even know who she was." I think it was kind of like way too late. I think even around that time, my mom didn't know herself. I don't think she was as close to God as she should have been as well. And she tried to do a little something around that time to be in our lives. But I think we were too messed up spiritually, emotionally, and to really connect with her. So nothing really came of her trying to at least reconnect in some sort of way. But it was always nice to see her because my mom's all, I grew up. I'm like a man now, right? So I grew up. She's all short, and she's your mom. End of the day, you can be like, "Oh, that's my mom." But she, so I never really saw her again until like around, I'm 33. So she came back in my life right around like all the stuff happened. Like it was right around my ex left me, and I was having a mental breakdown. And she came right then. It was obviously blessings from God, right? And then it's a lot of things that actually happened around this time. Like a lot of people like good people I loved, came back into my life. And what's funny is they're tapping in with God now. Most of those people are tapping in with God. They may not know God as well as I do, but they're getting somewhere. They're getting somewhere. So she came back into my life, and I remember I was having this mental breakdown. I remember, obviously they're all trying to like calm me down because the police are about to get called. This is how I ended up in the mental behavioral hospital. And I remember my mom started rubbing my back. And let me remind you guys, I never had a mom. Never, ever. I ain't never had a lick of a mom besides like being real young. So I don't remember nothing, right? I don't remember the goodness and the greatness of a mother. So I remember my mom started rubbing my back. Like, I'm not sure how back rubs usually go, but it was like the top part of my back. And I remember I'm crying, I'm breaking down because I love my kids to death because I know what it's like to not have your father and your mother. So I knew how important it is. And she's rubbing my back, and I remember it felt so good, yo. And I remember thinking in that moment, I was like, this is what moms are for, bro. This is nice. This is man nice. I'm like, this feels good. But yeah, fast forward. I eventually see her again, right? After all that. And like I said, this is before Thanksgiving. This is like one time I saw her before Thanksgiving. And she sits down with me. And she knows I'm depressed. She knows I'm going through it. And she's like, I'm sorry. And she starts crying. And she never like really apologized before. And I always wanted that. I never really cared that everything happened the way it happened in her life. I just wanted her to try. It didn't matter what age I was. And I wanted her to apologize. And she did. And I remember she apologized. She said, I'm sorry. She started crying. And I looked at her and I said, I'll never stop loving you. And I was like, I get it. Especially now, being in my situation. Life is crazy. Life is tough. So I get it. And I went over there and I hugged her. It was because I loved her, and that was true. I said what was true, and then I remember she started crying even harder because her son loved her, and she was scared. Like, there was times where I met up with her, and those times you can tell she was scared to say anything because I think she was scared she wouldn't be forgiven. Does that make sense? But the thing is, she didn't know the son that she was going to have. She didn't know the type of son she was going to have. I'm great. I love. Like, there was nothing that was going to stop me from forgiving you if you are sorry. That's who I am. And I loved her. I loved her then. I'm going to love her until she's, hopefully, I'm the son. So hopefully, she rests and she goes to God for me, But I'm going to love her until then. I'm going to be there by her side at her deathbed when the time comes. Because my mom's beautiful and I love her and I wish the best for her. She's a good man now and I'm very happy for her. I'm glad I get to be in her life and I get to be the man. I mean, obviously as a man, but, if that man, I mean, he's a good man, but if he's not leading the family properly, it's my time to lead the family. And since I know certain things, I'm definitely capable of guiding them, especially since I have God on my side. So, that's a little something about me. That goes to show my character and who I am. The reason why I hated myself so much throughout life is because I give. I will give you anything. I will love you anyway. I do not care. And I think that's a gift from God where I'm just in touch with love and that's where my anger stems from. It's because I've always felt like I should be loved, but I never got it. I always felt like I should be loved and I know how to love. I'm like, it's like certain things aren't computing. Like, why can't these people do what I do? Why can't these people sacrifice like I do? So that hurt me. Not realizing that some of these people don't love me the way I'm supposed to be loved, even though I'm doing everything for you. I'm helping you in like the best ways. I'm giving you so much. I'm listening to your problems, like literally listen, not capping. I'm listening to you. I'm going out of my way. I give my time, my energy to you, and you're going out of your way to hurt me. And I get it now because they got their own issues that they don't realize that they're messed up more so than they think. Because if you're going to hurt someone you love, there's a problem there. There's a problem within you that you have to fix. And this is why I always try to, I try to bring in God every time. Because I can't help you. Ultimately, it's ultimately got to be God. I can only go so far. You got to tap in and try. That's really what it comes down to with God. You have to try. So I hated myself. Like, I'll give you another example. I was with my baby, the mother of my kids, but the ex prior to her. And I remember I was we had an apartment together. And I was laying in the bed and I just was crying. I was crying. And she came in and she's like, what's wrong? And I was like, I hate myself. And at that time, I didn't understand why. But it's because I couldn't conform. The reason why I hated myself is I couldn't conform to everybody else. I couldn't be like everybody else. And I wanted to be like everyone else because being like everyone else means you're loved. And since I wasn't getting love and I wasn't getting the things I wanted, I was like, I just hated myself. I was like, who I am means, it's like, I mean nothing. I meant nothing to no one. I couldn't give people what they wanted because I don't know who I'm supposed to be. Right. But even though I know deep down, it's just like when you're looking at the world, that confuses you. It makes you feel like you can't be who you are. You cannot be that person because you're going to lose. So when I found my identity in Christ, it made it easier because that's what Christ is literally calling me to do. He's literally calling me to be me. Everything that I saw in Christianity was like, that's me. That's me. But, it takes time to build up your faith. It really takes time to build up your faith. So I learned that. Like, I'll give you some more experiences. Like, I have multiple people I live with. Most of these people are broken. Most of these people, I'm pretty sure some people would talk bad on most of these people. because they have done some bad things in their lives. Some of them even done me dirty, right? But when I see that good in you, it don't matter. Also, I put like, I'm like a doctor, right? Without the doctorate. I'm the doctor that has the potential to be a doctor, but I don't have none of like the training, right? So when I see someone that has goodness in them, I can't help but to try to pick you up. That's who I am. I cannot help it. Even if it might, I don't plan on it to hurt me. I'm trusting you. I'm trusting you to be like, no, I want to say be like me, but be better is the best way to put it. I just think you're going to do that. Like my mind, I'm obviously naive. I'm hopeful. I'm optimistic, was we always used to go with. And that's true. I will look at you and be like, you're good. I don't care about all the other stuff. You're good. You're going to be good. And I got you. I'm going to show you love so you know how to love. That makes sense. And more times than not, that never transpired the way it should have. More times than not, they still would screw me. Like, recently one of my roommates betrayed me in like a really bad way. And I was going to kick him out, right? I even talked to my other roommates about it. And they were like, yeah, I understand where you're coming from. And I remember he shot me a message because I know this guy. I know, like, when I look at him, I see the person. I see his potential. I see the goodness in him. So I don't, like, I remember when he messaged me, obviously I was on like, yo, he's got to go, right? I can't, at this point in my life, I wanted to say if I was still depressed, I would have probably crashed out. But since God recently healed my heart, like my heart is literally fully restored. I wake up feeling good every day now. So when he messaged me, I was like, I saw that basically he only needed a few more weeks here anyway. He was already planning to leave and progress his life. And I wanted him out today. But when I saw that, I instantly was like, you know what? What's another 3 weeks? You know what I mean? And part of me hated myself. Now, what's funny is I told him when we sat down and talked about it. I was like, part of me hated that. I was like, you know what? What's another 3 to 4 weeks? You know what I'm saying? Like, might as well give him his time. And I hated that. And it's because I don't want to get screwed again. I don't want people to hurt me again when I'm going on my way for you. So I sat him down and we talked. And when we talked, I had to make sure he understood. And as long as you understood me, you understand me, you understand the love I have for you, you understand that I go out of my way for you. And as long as you're sorry, I can forgive you. So I forgave him. We cool. And he's got his 3 to 4 weeks left. And he's gone, and we all kicking it, and we vibing. Everything's good vibes in this house. Everything's beautiful. Like every person in this house, I've loved them. And I gave them help because that's what you're supposed to do. I knew that helping them, I was hoping helping them wasn't going to be a detriment to my spirit or to my life. But I knew that helping them would also benefit me as well, especially if I could elevate them to a level that could sharpen me. Does that make sense? Me, I'm always looking to build some sort of village. I'm always looking to build some tribe. I'm always looking to build a community or some sort of unity amongst people. It's because I understand that's how life is supposed to be. That's how life is supposed to go. So when you look at me and you see me, if I'm raging, it's because I built up so much because I expect the best from people. When I mean the best, I'm not saying materialistic. I'm not saying money. I'm saying you should love me. Not properly love. It's objective, not subjective. Sacrifice for people that sacrifice for you. Take a step back. Like the Bible gives out what love is. Love is kind, love is patient. There's a couple other things. I can't remember them all. Sorry. There's a lot in the Bible and remembering everything is tough. But yeah, Bible gives out the definition of love. So sometimes you gotta take a step back and be like, okay. He's tweaking. I don't understand him, but let's be patient. Let me see if what he's saying is good and it makes sense. So let me take a time and try to, get things going. Like see if I can understand, bro. And then if you do that, more than likely you'll probably understand me because I'm good. Not, I'm not Jesus Christ good, but I'm good. I love more than most people. That's why my devotion to God is easy. Because I understand the assignment. Same thing when I became a father. It was easy. It was cake. I hear people complaining, oh, it's so hard. It's hard to be this and that. It's hard. No, it wasn't. Give me my kids. I will not complain. You want to know why? Because they need me. They need my love. And guess what? I need theirs. Because when I first got my kids, I was already crashing out before God saved me. I was already crashing out in life because I was tired of people. I was done. I was like, yo, I'm gonna take advantage of people. Like, why lose in life when they're hurting me? Why love these people? And then God was like, nah, bro. You're gonna do what I created you to do. And that's why he intervened in my life. And then my girls showed me the love that I needed. My daughters, when they first, because I would come home, I would work at a chicken plant, and I would come home, and my first daughter, beautiful, beautiful angel, dude, gift from God, the chief, the captain of my family, right? She's the firstborn, so she got some leeway with me, and she would just wait for me every day. She would just be there waiting for me, and she would hug me, give me the best hugs. Normally I'd be crying right now, but I'm good right now. But I'd be crying, and I would just, I was like, yeah, yo, this is nice, yo, this is nice. I know hugs did this for you, right? Because everyone else is standoffish. Everyone else is overthinking how they're supposed to treat you. Everyone's scared of you. They're worried. They're just, no, I ain't worried no more. I got you. I'm going to love you because I'm good. I know I'm good. I know things are going to be turn out good for me. I know God's got my back. Nothing can happen to me that's going to destroy me. And I think too, like, I want people to understand there's nothing in this world that I love more than people and God. Literally, there's nothing. There's not. Like, when people tell me to move on, like they're telling me move on from my girl, right? My ex, the mother of my kids. They're telling me move on and go do this. Life's going to be okay later. The reason why I was going to commit suicide at one point was because I knew, and God also knew, there was nothing besides him that I would live for. The only reason I decided to live for God is because I believed it was true. If I didn't believe it was true, I was going to kill myself 110% because I did not like life without my family. Life meant nothing without my family. And I'm a hedonist. Like, outside of God, I'm a hedonist. I would live for pleasures if God doesn't exist. So even if I chose to live, I would have to do bad things to live. That was the only way for me to live. So thank God I had God, and thank God when I was thinking about committing suicide and thinking about doing bad things, God was like, if you have nothing to live for, then live for me. And I said, okay. Granted, I did not want to, because I didn't know, because when you give your life to God, you don't know what God has planned for you. So you don't really think anymore. You're moving by faith, not by sight. So I was scared. Obviously, I was terrified because I wanted my family and I didn't trust God. I did not trust God because I don't know his plans. But now I'm good. Things are good. Like, to know me is to understand Roy does not care about your money. Roy does not care about your car. Roy don't care about your house. I don't care about none of that stuff. I don't care. That stuff is a bonus to me. I want my kids because I'm supposed to have them. I want my girl because I'm supposed to have her, right? My ex, I'm supposed to. That's why I want her, because I can love her properly, right? I learned a lot because of God. I even learned that sex, like a lot of people, the reason why sex is we're so down bad is because we got sex and making love mixed up. There's two things here. And I learned that from God, that you can have sex with someone and it can mean nothing. You can make love with someone and it can mean everything. It transcends. It's a knowing of the person. And I learned that from God. And I remember talking to an ex over the summer. And I remember I told her I'm tired of basically smashing people, and that hopefully you guys understand what I'm talking about. Because that's what I was doing, because that's what I learned. That's what I learned to do. And I realized that's what people want. But that was not me. And I told her, I was like, I want to love somebody. I want to love somebody. And I think I can do that because now I know who I am in my being and how I'm supposed to do things. Before, I was always in a state of confusion because I was low-key trying to follow who I was, but also follow the crowd, because when I'm following the crowd, I'm like, what they doing makes sense because everyone's doing it. But something in me's telling me, this ain't right. This is not how I'm supposed to do it. I'm supposed to be doing it another way. And so I couldn't trust my instincts because I'm looking at other people like, this is what they want. This is what they like. I'm just gonna do what they tell me I should do. And that's not how you lead. You have to be yourself, and you have to show people a better way. And that's what God has put me here for. He's like, I remember I used to hate so much about myself. I was like, what, God, why can't I do what this nigga's doing? I would look at someone else. I'm like, why can't I use people like this person? This person's winning. In my mind, I'm thinking they winning. And God's like, You know, and God's thinking like, you're doing the right thing, son. You're not using this young lady. You're not doing this. You're doing the right thing. And obviously at the time I didn't hear God, but in my spirit, I knew I was doing the right thing. It just sucked because it's like, bro over here looking like he having a good time, bro bragging and everything. Like, he doing good. I'm like, yo, can a nigga eat? Like, can I get a biscuit at the table? Like, can I get something? Can I get some crumbs? Like, that's how I looked at life. I'm like, bro, I'm not winning. But I realized at this point, I've already won because I'm saved. My kids are going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay for me because I found myself in Christ. Thank God. Like, come to the Lord, come to God, because I think I'm created in a different way than a lot of other people. So it was easier for me. Like, sometimes I feel like I was chosen for this position to do what I'm supposed to do here. I feel like I was chosen. I feel like everything that happened in my life was to build me where I need to be now. And I feel like some people can't tap in because they're refusing to listen to good people around them. Like, most of these guys, I've been trying to get these guys to be Christian for a bop. And I'm like, bro, the only reason y'all live here is because God set it up. I tell these guys every time. I'm like, God is the reason y'all live here. And because all these guys were down bad. They didn't have a good life. They didn't have great parents. They didn't have a great background. They suffered through things. They have trauma. And I'm like, bro, if God never intervened in my life, I would have been like, screw y'all. Screw you guys. Like, who are y'all? Y'all mean nothing to me. Money is important to me. Sex is important to me. So y'all mean nothing. Y'all, if y'all don't have those things, y'all mean nothing to me. But since God did intervene in my life, and I chose to walk with God, and he did restore my heart, it was easy for me to bring these guys in my home and to love them because I believe in them and I see the good in them. Just like my ex, even though she's done me dirty, made the wrong choices, I believe in her. I hate hearing the stuff she's doing, especially with people that are really bad. Like the one friend that did me dirty and was with her, he is far from God. Stop lowering yourself, being someone you shouldn't be. I believe in you. I believe in everyone that is around me. There's nothing that can stop me from being the best person that I am. And if you're around me, I'm going to give everything to you. That's who I am. I thank God. And I thank you guys for listening. You guys take care and God bless. Peace.